What's up, Savvy Expats? So today we're doing a public interview on what do Filipino people think about foreigners. So without wasting time, let's get into the video and see what their answers are. Alright guys, so we are with
Jaredel.
Andrea.
and Andrea. So we're asking them 10 questions on what they think about foreigners. So the first question is, would you make friends with a foreigner?
Yes, of course.
Yes.
Yes.
And yes. How do you feel you would connect with a foreigner as opposed to a Filipino?
I think we will be connected by talking about our cultures as well as theirs po, because we Filipinos have a variety of cultures po that we want to share to the foreigners also.
Exactly, because a lot of Americans are very interested in Filipino culture, so that's really a good bonding point.
For me, it's about the food because we have different foods or vibes that they can choose from.
Yes. So food as well. I know a lot of Americans that love Filipino food. And so third question is, when you think about a foreigner coming here to the Philippines, what are some of the first things that come to mind?
The first thing that came up to my mind is why, because the Philippines is a very beautiful country, but I think America is such a good place to live with, but so that's what I think. Why do you want to live here in the Philippines? Ganun.
But like when you think about a foreigner and their personality, what they're like, what kind of stuff comes to mind with that?
I think very genuine kasi when they go here to the Philippines, they talk to Filipinos, for example, the directions like ganyan, or some places that is beautiful. So we Filipinos will will tell them to go to this place or that place for them to see if it is beautiful or not. So ganun.
For me, I think foreigners came here for the sake of being famous, or because, as we all know, Philippines has a lot of users in social media. We have a big users of social media and a lot. So that's why it's easy for them, especially if someone is different from ours or different from our personality, to gain people or likes from people.
Something I've noticed here in the Philippines, if a foreigner can speak Tagalog, it's very easy for them to become famous here, diba? Do you think foreigners are snobby? Snobera?
I think some of them, but not all of them po.
Yes, it also depends on that person.
How do you think foreigners impact the country?
I don't think they will impact our country, especially our economy, but yes, it depends po talaga.
For me, since there are more travelers, our economy can rise because of course, they discover the places and also they help the tourism to grow.
What are some negative ways foreigners have impacted the country?
Number one is the waste. They don't know what policy. They tend to put this bottle in like a lot of kind of waste to
just throw it out.
yes, ganyan. Yes, ganyan po.
For me, maybe some male foreigners tend to abuse women or tend to use them for just clout, and when they impregnated that woman, they will leave.
What are some positive ways that foreigners have impacted the country?
As I can say, the tourists help the economy of the Philippines to grow and foster.
They bring a lot of money, diba?
When you think about Americans, what comes to mind?
I don't generalize Americans, but I think they have a lot of money. First, they have a lot of money because they are rich, some of them. And second is the one she said earlier, that they tend to impregnate the women and they will leave the females after they gave birth.
For me, maybe they have a different culture than us, like they are modernized than us and others.
If you were to move abroad, what country would you move to?
New Zealand kasi, as you can see, their COVID response, especially the pandemic, they are very good at handling the virus, and we can see how competent their leader is when it comes to COVID response po.
New Zealand and Japan also.
Last question, are there any misconceptions on the way Filipinos view foreigners?
Some of the foreigners think that we Filipinos all can sing. All can sing. Yes, because not all of us can sing, but we have the confidence to sing. Yeah, you get that. You get that point. Yes. Not all Filipinos are very good at singing, but we are confident when it comes to sing, because as a Filipino, we have karaoke at home, ganyan, and we sing when there is an occasion po, ganyan.
Yes, that's something I noticed for sure. Americans were definitely more shy when it comes to singing, but Filipinos, it's part of the culture to do karaoke and be open with singing and dancing, performance arts. Okay, so thank you guys for joining the interview. I really liked your answers. Hit a like button for them, guys. All right, guys, so we are here with
Carl.
Aliyah.
and Aliyah. Okay, so first question is, would you make friends with a foreigner?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes.
fine.
Okay. And so how do you feel you would connect with a foreigner as opposed to a Filipino?
Just be friends. You're welcome here in our country.
Do you feel like you'd be able to connect with a Filipino better than a foreigner because you have the same culture?
Yep.
Can you repeat the question?
Do you think you can have a good relationship with a foreigner?
Yes, I am, and I want to be friends with them because I want to learn a lot of English language and
We want to know your culture.
Okay.
Too.
When you think about a foreigner, what are some of the first things that come to mind?
Foreigners are huge people.
Yes. Okay.
rich people.
Rich people. Okay, so like huge and rich. Do you think foreigners are snobby?
It depends on people.
Yep.
Yeah, it depends.
It depends. And how do you think foreigners impact the Philippines?
A lot of things because what we are right now is just came from the foreigners. We just adapt it.
A lot of the modern things we have here in the Philippines comes from foreigners.
We learn language and as well as how to dress.
Next question, what are some negative ways that foreigners have impacted the country?
Some of them are racist but it's okay.
What are some positive ways that foreigners have impacted the country?
They are funny because I have in our province we have foreigner yes, they are joker like that.
So a good sense of humor. If you were to move abroad, what country would you move to?
Definitely Europe, Switzerland. That's my one of the bucket list.
Paris.
And last question, is there any misconceptions that Filipinos have about foreigners?
What do you mean misconceptions?
Like, is there some things that Filipinos often think about foreigners but aren't correct?
For me, nothing.
Same, nothing.
All right, so thank you guys for being on the YouTube channel. So what are your guys' names?
I'm Zenry.
And I'm John Paul.
And Axel. Jaira.
DJ.
Would you make friends with a foreigner?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so they all, except him, would make friends with a foreigner. Question number 2. How do you feel you would connect with a foreigner?
I feel good because someday when I grow up, I wanna go to another country.
But like, how do you feel your relationship would be with like a foreigner?
Close friends.
Good friends.
When you think about a foreigner coming here to the Philippines, what are the first things that come to mind?
I think they are good or they are new to what's our culture.
That is cool.
It's gentleman.
Do you think foreigners are snobby?
No, because sometimes they ask questions about what's in here.
And how do you think foreigners impact the country?
It's good because I think it's increase our
Like money,
yes.
What are some negative ways foreigners impact the country?
Sometimes when racism gets involved and they fight with other Filipinos.
No comment. No comment.
When you think about Americans, what are some things that come to mind?
I think they are good and they want to be friends with other Filipinos too.
Very handsome and cool.
Very handsome. For the boys or for the girls?
For the girls.
For the boys, okay. And if you were to move abroad, what country would you move to?
Japan.
Canada. Japan, Canada,
America.
America,
Korea.
New York, Africa. Okay. Okay, why would you move to that country?
Cause people in that country is organized and they are responsible in what they're doing.
Yeah, in Japan.
I want to tour.
I want to tour. Alright, so that's it. Thank you guys for being in the YouTube video. Any shout outs?
Shout out Team Lods.
Team Loads.
Team Load shoutout.
Shoutout kay MJ Diluga.
MJ Diluga, sikat namin.
Salamat at maraming salamat.
Kape ko, 3 in 1. Mura na, mahal pa.
Salamat.
Alright, thank you guys. So we are here with
I'm Mariel Esternon.
Mariel
John Marqueñas Cosas.
and John. Would you make friends with a foreigner?
Yes,
Yes.
I would like.
Yes.
And how do you feel you would relate to a foreigner or connect with a foreigner as opposed to a Filipino?
Like a family or a friend.
Like a friend.
Yes.
When you think about a foreigner, what are some of the first things that come to mind?
Rich, kind.
Do you think foreigners are snobby?
Sometimes it depends on how they communicate to us. Discrimination.
Okay.
That we are a Filipino and they are a foreigner. Like racism, like that.
Racism here. And how do you think foreigners impact the country?
Business, like they are helpful. Like gadgets.
Yes.
The internet.
Like modern stuff.
Yes, the modern stuff today.
And when you think about Americans, what are some of the first things that come to mind?
Americans?
Yeah, Americans.
White people?
White people, yes.
Yes.
How about like their personality?
Like what you've said earlier, snapper. Like
Yeah, snobby. And if you were to move abroad, what country would you move to?
Oh, Europe.
Europe. Which part of Europe?
Specifically to Switzerland.
Switzerland.
Yes, kasi napaka-peaceful doon din. Napaka-environmental.
Sobrang ganda.
Opo, sobrang ganda.
Are there any like misconceptions that Filipinos have on foreigners? Wala.
Wala maisip eh.
Alright, Savvy Expats, so that is a public interview in BGC. If you guys want me to continue the series, let's get this video to 1,000 likes. And also comment down below the next question that you want me to ask. Next video, we're going to be doing it in the daylight. I really apologize that we were doing it at nighttime. The lighting was bad. So in our next public interview, it'll be in the morning time. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. God bless.
And actually guys, one last message. We are officially offering memberships on Patreon that offer you, as a savvy expat, exclusive perks and membership that you won't get on this YouTube channel. For example, if you join the first membership there, you get access to a community of like-minded expats to talk with on Discord. If you become a member of the second tier, you get full access to exclusive content that I won't be showcasing here on the Savvy Expat channel. That content includes my life living and growing up in America, experiences living in the States, and behind the scenes content, and actually, not to mention exclusive public interviews just like the one you guys just watched. As for the last tier, by joining, you become a Savvy Expat Prestige member, getting full access to all the perks and benefits, which includes exclusive members only personalized content that I make just for you and nobody else. You'll also be able to vote on the next video that I create, access to PDFs on retirement, access to live Q&As, be able to talk with me personally, and a shout out at the end of each video. So there is a rundown on our newly opened Patreon page, which will be in the link in the description. If you want to become a Savvy Expat member and support the channel, be sure to check it out. Alright guys, again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. God bless.